When we talk about football's greatest ever players, two names always dominate every conversation: Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. But right after them, there is one man whose career deserves just as much respect, admiration, and storytelling. A man who didn't just score goals, he defined consistency, discipline, and perfection. That man is Robert Lewandowski. Lewandowski's story isn't just about football. It's about a dream built in silence, a career that grew through rejections, setbacks, and moments where everything seemed lost. From being considered too weak and too thin as a kid to becoming one of the most complete striker in football history. This is the story of Polish goal machine. Robert Lewandowski was born on August 21, 1988 in a small Polish town called Warsaw. His parents were athletes. His father was a judo champion and footballer, while his mother was a volleyball player, so sport was in his blood from day one. But young Robert wasn't seen as a future star. In fact, when he was growing up, many coaches said he was too skinny to make it in football. They told him he lacked the strength and physicality for the professional level. At just 17, when his father passed away, Lewandowski's life changed completely. That loss broke him inside, but it also gave him a reason to fight harder. He began his senior career with a small club called Śląsk Pryszków in Poland's lower division. It wasn't glamorous, there were no cameras or scouts, but he kept scoring goal after goal until everyone started noticing him. He became the top scorer in the Polish third division, then again in the second division. The boy who was once considered too weak had now become too dangerous to ignore. That's when Lech Poznan, one of the Poland's biggest clubs, decided to take a chance on him in 2008. At Lech Poznan, Lewandowski's life completely changed. He wasn't just scoring, he was growing into a leader, a complete forward. He finished his first season with 14 league goals, then followed it up by becoming the extra-class top scorer. Suddenly, he was the talk of Polish football. Scouts from all over Europe began to take notice. And among those scouts was a young, passionate German coach, Jürgen Klopp. Klopp saw something special in him. He saw hunger, discipline, and a player who could become deadly under his system. So in 2010, Borussia Dortmund took a risk and signed Lewandowski for just around €4.5 million, one of the smartest signings in football history. When Lewandowski arrived in Dortmund, it wasn't all smooth. His first season was tough. He struggled to adapt to the speed and intensity of German football. He wasn't even the first choice striker. But under Klopp's guidance, he learned how to press, how to move, and how to use his body in the right way. By his second season, the transformation was complete. Lewandowski became the main man up front. Dortmund, a young and fearless team led by Klopp, started to rise in German football, and they won back-to-back Bundesliga titles in 2011 and 2012. And Lewandowski wasn't just a part of it, he was the reason for it. But the real moment that changed everything came in 2012 to 2013 season, the Champions League. Dortmund reached the semi-finals against Real Madrid. Everyone thought Madrid would easily go through. But that night in Germany, Lewandowski destroyed Real Madrid by scoring 4 goals in one of the greatest individual performances in the Champions League history. It was the night the world met Robert Lewandowski. Although Dortmund lost the final to Bayern Munich at Wembley, Lewandowski had already proven the world that he was world-class. Everyone knew he was destined for the very top. In 2014, Lewandowski made one of the most controversial moves in German football. He joined Bayern Munich on a free transfer. Dortmund fans felt betrayed, but Bayern fans felt blessed. Lewandowski, he felt ready to win everything. At Bayern, his game evolved into perfection. Under Pep Guardiola, Carlo Ancelotti, and Hansi Flick, and later Julian Nagelsmann, Lewandowski became a complete machine. Positioning, finishing, movement, timing, everything was at a world-class level. And then came the game, September 22, 2015. Bayern vs Wolfsburg. Lewandowski came off the bench and scored 5 goals in just 9 minutes. Yes, you heard that right. 5 goals in 9 minutes. It's one of the most unbelievable records in football history. That moment defined the legacy of Lewandowski. He went on to win title after title, Bundesliga, DFB Pokal, Super Cups, everything in Germany. But one trophy always stayed out of reach, the Champions League, until 2020. That year, under Hansi Flick, Bayern Munich were unstoppable. They destroyed everyone on their way to a perfect treble. Lewandowski scored 15 goals in the Champions League campaign. He didn't get to lift the Ballon d'Or that year because France football cancelled the award due to COVID-19. But everyone knew 2020 was Lewandowski's year. He was the best player in the world. Even Messi later said in an interview, Robert Lewandowski deserved the Ballon d'Or in 2020. And coming from Messi, that means everything. When Robert Lewandowski decided to leave Bayern Munich in 2022, he made one of the boldest decisions of his career. He chose FC Barcelona. This wasn't the Barcelona of old. The team had just lost Lionel Messi, the club was drowning in debt, Trophies had stopped coming and big players refused to sign. The glory that once defined Blaugrana had completely faded. And yet, Lewandowski saw something others didn't. He saw a project worth believing in. He arrived not as a savior, but as a soldier ready to rebuild a fallen empire. From his very first season, Lewandowski brought back hope. He brought back goals, discipline, and pride. He became La Liga's top scorer, leading Barcelona to win the La Liga title and the Spanish Super Cup, setting an example for every young player in the dressing room. Fans began to call him the man who saved Barcelona, because at a time when the club had no stars, Lewandowski shined the brightest. But the story didn't stop there. In 2024-25 season, things felt like a rebirth. Under Hansi Flick, the same coach who had guided him to glory at Bayern, Barcelona found the rhythm again. The connection between Lewandowski, Rafinha and Lamine Yamal turned electric, and the result was historic. Barcelona won the domestic treble, La Liga, Copa del Rey and the Spanish Super Cup, returning to dominance in Spanish football. It was one of the most emotional seasons in the club's recent history. Lewandowski proved that age was just a number, and now, as we enter the 2025-2026 season, this could be his final chapter at Barcelona. The whispers are already there that this might be his last dance in Europe. This season, Barcelona and Lewandowski have one dream left, the UEFA Champions League, the only major trophy missing from his Barcelona story. With Hansi Flick back beside him, the same partnership that once conquered Europe with Bayern is alive again in Catalonia, and every fan hopes this story ends the same way, with Robert Lewandowski lifting the Champions League trophy in the Blaugrana colors, completing the circle and leaving Barcelona as not just a great signing, but as a true club legend. While his club career was filled with trophies, Lewandowski's international journey with Poland was different. Poland didn't have world-class stars around him, but he carried the entire nation on his back. He is Poland's all-time top scorer and appearance maker, leading them to Euro tournaments and World Cups, always giving his best no matter what the situation is. One of his proudest moments came when he led Poland to the 2018 World Cup after topping the qualifiers with 16 goals. Even though Poland couldn't go far, Lewandowski's leadership and passion inspired an elite generation of Polish footballers. Lewandowski is not just among Europe's top scorers, he is one of the most efficient finishers in football history. His penalty conversion rate is among the highest ever recorded, well over 90% across club and country. He rarely misses from the spot, calm, cold and clinical every single time. He is also one of the very few players in history to have scored over 500 club goals and over 100 international goals combined. In total, Lewandowski has over 600 career goals, a number that places him right up there among the immortals of the game. He's won the Golden Boot in Germany 7 times, and in Spain, he immediately became La Liga's top scorer in his debut season. He is also the only player in history to have been top scorer in 3 major European leagues: Poland, Germany and Spain. His famous 5 goals in 9 minutes against Wolfsburg remains one of the most astonishing individual performances in football history, a record that may never be broken. He also holds the record for the fastest hat-trick, 4-goal haul and 5-goal haul in Bundesliga history, all in that same 9-minute explosion. Even Guinness World Record had to award him 5 different certificates for that single match. At Bayern, he broke Gerd Muller's long-standing record by scoring 41 goals in a single Bundesliga season, something no one thought was possible. Last season silenced every critic who said he was past his best because at 36-year-old he was still delivering world-class performances week after week. He also reached a personal milestone, 50 plus goals and assists combined in 2024-2025 campaign, proving age is just a number when your mindset is elite. As of now, Lewandowski has won multiple Bundesliga titles, DFB Pokals, UEFA Champions League in 2020 and FIFA Club World Cup, 2 La Ligas, Copa del Rey, Supercopa de España in 2023 and 2025, and several individual awards like the Best FIFA Men's Player, UEFA World Forward of the Year, European Golden Shoes twice. When people talk about Messi and Ronaldo, they talk about magic, longevity and records. But after those two, no one has maintained elite level consistency like Robert Lewandowski. He didn't just score goals, he adapted through eras, from the fast, physical Bundesliga days under Klopp to the tactical dominance under Guardiola and now the creative rebuild at Barcelona. He's thrived everywhere. He proved that greatness isn't just about flair or fame. It's about mastering your craft day after day and season after season. Robert Lewandowski is football's perfect professional, a man who rose from nothing, fought against rejection and built a career of pure excellence. When he retires, the world will remember him not only as one of the best strikers of this generation, but as one of the greatest footballers to ever play the game, standing tall right after Messi and Ronaldo. And that's the incredible story of Robert Lewandowski, the boy from Poland who turned into a legend. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Drop a like and comment your favorite Lewandowski moment below. Was it the 5 goals in 9 minutes, or the Champions League triumph, or his incredible goal consistency across more than a decade? This is V Talks Football, and I'll see you in the next story.